1914 in his book, The World Set Free. The neutron wasn't even discovered until 1932, and the first nuclear chain reaction not demonstrated until December 1942. And I always associated Wells primarily with the 1938 radio broadcast of The War of the Worlds, starring Orson Welles. Far-sighted he certainly was. So fasten your seatbelt. You are in for a fascinating ride. Stanton T. Friedman. Forward to New Edition. I'm honored that Robert Salas invited me to follow the late Stanton Friedman in contributing a second foreword to this new edition of his book, now titled UAPs and the Nuclear Puzzle. Stanton has already described Robert's outstanding credentials and background. Most importantly, Robert was directly involved with one of the most significant and well-documented national security UFO events ever, which formed the foundation of his long investigation and personal journey. Despite his grounding in the military and his scholarly coverage of history, Robert takes all genuine UFO witnesses and experiencers seriously. He brings an unusual openness and respect to this aspect of the phenomenon that is so often cast aside. All these elements are interwoven within his long-standing effort to bring about change. The UFO missile incident at Malmstrom Air Force Base in 1967 occurred before the issuance of the Air Force fact sheet at the close of Project Blue Book, which we now know, thanks partly to Robert's coming forward, was far from factual. Rather, it was issued to perpetuate a cover-up. Robert has dedicated decades of his life to undoing the knot of that cover-up. As a journalist covering UFOs, I have been fortunate to have known Robert Salas for over 20 years. His contributions through writing, speaking, and research, and those of his colleagues who were involved with similar incidents, have been of immeasurable importance. Robert's 2005 book, Faded Giant, co-authored by James Klotz, brought his years of investigation into the public arena and provided a wealth of government documents obtained through the Freedom of Information Act. This work was of great benefit to me when writing my 2010 book, UFOs, Generals, Pilots, and Government Officials Go on the Record, which included an interview with Robert about the Malmstrom event and its implications. However, my admiration for Robert goes beyond his investigation of this incident. He has also been deeply committed to the larger effort calling for government transparency and disclosure. He is acutely aware that excessive secrecy threatens the survival of our democracy, keeping the public in the dark about one of the most important issues facing all of us. This has threatened public trust in government and is continuing to do so. To address this problem, Robert recently founded the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Action Committee, UAPAC, to help provide oversight of congressional actions going forward. Congress enacted laws to require more openness about UAP, the group's 2022 press release states. However, it remains to be seen how the Pentagon and the intelligence community will respond to the groundbreaking legislative requirements. I couldn't agree more, and I commend Robert for setting up a group to potentially provide assistance to whistleblowers who may face unforeseen difficulties when they come forward under the new legislation. UAPs and the Nuclear Puzzle goes beyond a study of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, by providing a rich historical context. This background, which is interesting unto itself, helps us understand the mechanics and perils of our reliance on nuclear weapons. Robert makes it clear that the stockpiling of these weapons as a deterrent is not only a risk to our survival, but also has implications for any off-world civilizations in our neighborhood. He describes shocking case summaries of encounters with the anomalous objects at nuclear bases during the Cold War and afterwards. In addition, Robert does not shy away from taking his narrative into the stranger world of alien encounters.